did a story recently covering how this Karen accused this black man right here, and I'm not trying to race bait, that's just what it is, of she basically got caught lying on this ninja, saying that he was chasing her or whatever. Here's the video.
What's going on? Do you live here?
Yeah.
You do?
Papa.
I don't believe that.
What?
I don't believe that.
So what are you doing here?
Rory, come on. Rory, come on.
Hey.
Well, there we got it. All right, sorry.
What? She said that someone was following her. So you were walking from there?
No, you came this way, didn't you?
No, I came down this street right here.
Yeah.
And I was riding slow.
So
I was riding slow because I'm looking at our Christmas lights.
Well, you just have to understand my point of view. Being by myself with two kids, I just saw a car coming, and so I was like, oh, it scared me, and so I just pulled up here, and I kept thinking, this could be his house. But you didn't say, this is my home. You just said, are you looking? And I was like,
I did. When you was on the porch, you asked me, did I live here? I said, yeah.
And you said, no, you don't.
And you said, I don't think you do.
It was obviously you could tell that I was really caught off guard.
Like I'm pulling in my, it's like I'm pulling in my house. Like this is not, this neighborhood is probably one of the best neighborhoods in Ohio. You don't have to worry about stuff like that.
Well, I'm very sorry.
I was riding slow because I'm looking at our Christmas lights.
Well, you just have to understand my point of view.
no, we do not have to understand your point of view. So she recently went on Officer Tatum's show. And, you know, a lot of people don't like Officer Tatum for, you know, whatever his political beliefs are. But I'm just here for a short segment of the interview where you're about to hear the mom's perspective, because she clearly lied and said, you didn't tell me you live here. You're like, I did. Now she's about to switch up her story.
Michelle Bishop. What's going on, guys? How y'all doing?
Oh, we're doing, I keep staying positive. We're doing good. We're hanging in there.
Yeah, hanging in there.
Thank you so much for having us on.
Yeah, it is my pleasure. And the reason I brought you guys on, I think you know, and everybody else that's watching this should know, that I just want you guys to get your story out there. Because when you watch a little clip that's been framed and put out, I don't know, months later or several weeks later, in an attempt to assassinate your character, I think it's invaluable for you guys to have an opportunity to say your part. So we'll start from the very beginning. And I want you to tell the audience what happened from the very beginning of when you started walking with your children to seeing that truck that led you to the front door of the Jenkins residence.
Yes.
All right, let's hear her lie.
So first of all, Brandon, we have to say thank you. Just so your viewers know, you're the first person that stood up for us. So thank you so much. You were like the first glimmer of hope that we've had in 4 or 5 days. So thank you so much for stepping into this. You said this isn't what I do, but we are so appreciative. You're such a blessing to us. So the story, this whole thing. So November 19th, I was out with my children. It was just before 6 o'clock in Ohio, not like Arizona. It gets dark really early in the winter. And so my husband is always super protective. And he was like, hey, you know, it's getting dark, get home quick. And so we were finishing our run on the second half of our neighborhood.
Always in their richest neighborhood, hey, it's getting dark, get home quick, maybe.
And we were jogging down the road and it had gotten dark. The sun had gone down. We were trying to run, look at the Christmas lights. And I noticed a truck coming from behind me. And that's all that it was.
It's like the Derek Jackson interview right now, but in reverse.
Vehicle approaching from behind me. I'm a mom in the street jogging with my little girl and my baby jogger, my little 2-year-old. And I go to the grass, and I've always been told if ever this situation happened, which I never thought it would, to go to the closest house, to act like it's your home. And so that is what I was doing. I went into the grass, started walking up the sidewalk when Michael was continuing to slowly approach, and he started to say things out the window, asking if he could help me. And so I didn't respond. I wasn't talking to him. It was a man in a vehicle. I'm with my children. It's dark. And so I told my daughter, hey, turn here, act like, go up this driveway. Don't look behind you. Just walk, pretend this is your house. And so we're walking up the driveway. And at that point, we decided to go to the front porch to just knock on the door, see if somebody's there, ring the doorbell.
Now, we haven't got to the point where she just lies and changes up her story. I mean, we already saw the part where she said, you didn't tell me you live here. You're like, yeah, I did. And thank God we had it on Ring camera. because God forbid is his word versus hers.
And when I get on the doorbell or get on the porch and I ring the doorbell, nobody's answering. And at that point, I am absolutely just in mom mode. I'm just doing what I think any mom would do to protect their children. I start to unbuckle my son and I ask the man in the truck, he's still in the truck. I say to him, is this your home? And he said, yes. And at this point, there was nothing that you could say to me to make me believe anything. I was in protective mode. I was in mom mode, challenging it. I said, I don't believe that. And so I grabbed my kids. I told my daughter to run and I ran for my life. Literally, you can hear it.
Running for her life because she walked into another man's property, asked him, do he live there? He said yes, but she doesn't, later you'll see, she doesn't explain why she lied first and said, you never said you told me you live here.
Showing up at a woman's house where I was calling the police just to let them know of where I was. Just, hey, just get somebody on the phone with me. And I get in the woman's house and I had told the woman that I thought he was a young white man. My husband came and we went to get the stroller because I had left it in the front yard. And it was at that moment that the wife stepped out onto the porch. And it was that moment when I realized that it was a Black family. My husband even said to me, that's a Black family that lives there. He said, are you sure it wasn't? He said, are you sure it wasn't? How'd you say it? He said,
so when we went to that neighbor's house.
Now here, this is the husband going, and she said she thought it was a white man. Now, I mean, you look at the picture, you like, it could be a hard sell to say, hey, in the middle of the night, you see this guy right here and you say, hey, that's a white man with dreads, black beard, brown hair, white man. If you say so, if she say so, let's let her husband he was basically here to try to clear this shit up.
Where Michelle ran to. I'm watching her on my phone, by the way. Like, I have her location. I'm like, it's getting dark. I'm going to watch her. Right. So when she stopped, I'm like, why did she stop right there? I'm already on alert. As I'm staring at it, she calls me and I'm like, I'm going to get over there. So I get over there and they're standing out there. She's like, everything's fine. Everything's fine. I called the police off, whatever. And I said, where was it? She's like, that house right there. And I was like, well, I know that person. I mean, I've seen him in the neighborhood, seen him walking around, seen him at a buddy's birthday party. He's known here in the neighborhood, in the community. I was like, was it a Black guy? She's like, no, it was a white guy. And the lady that was also there, she was like, yeah, she said he was a white guy.
Yes.
Hey, she nodded her head like, tell a story as we rehearsed it.
So go ahead.
So I told the woman, and then again, John asked me, are you sure it wasn't a Black dude? I know the man that lives there. And I said, no, I do believe it was a young white man. So I went back to the house. That was the first time they stepped out on the porch. And I realized it was in fact a Black family. And he came out and I heard his voice and it was him. And I made 2 apologies right then and there. I felt very stupid. You could see it in the video. I said, I'm so sorry. I said, in my mind, I was even thinking.
She did say sorry. I'll give her that. She's telling the truth. She did say sorry. But she does not address when he said, her saying that you never told me that you live here.
Maybe this could be his house, but in that moment, I was in complete protector mode. There was just, like I said, nothing you could say at that point that was going to get me to trust that this really was this person's house. And I ran. So that night, we truly thought it was squashed. They did not accept the apology. My husband was like, get in the truck. This isn't.
They didn't accept it. They didn't accept it on the spot when you guys were in that video. Because I heard you.
Yeah, like we heard her apologize, bruh. You mean to tell me you call the police on me? You accuse me of chasing you publicly. You accuse me of chasing you. You run into my driveway, ask me, do I live here? I say yes. You run off in fear for your life because you're in mom mode. And then you say you thought I was white. I think she knew he was Black.
You apologize, and everybody heard you apologize on that video. So they just didn't accept it there. Did they say, well, we don't accept the apology, or they just never acknowledged the apology?
She said from the video, he starts to turn inside and he started to continue to say the same thing over and over.
He told you that he lived here. He
kept saying it over and over. And I kept just trying to help de-escalate the situation and just saying, I'm sorry, please understand where I'm coming from. I was just everything.
She does. What do you mean where you're coming from? Where you walk on other people's property, ask them, do they live there? They say yes. And you just say you're lying. Like, hey, this is America.
So I'm so sorry. I just trying to put him everything. It was awkward. It was truly awkward. And he just kept trying to justify saying, I told you I lived here. And at this point,
it got to the point where I just said, hon, this isn't going to go the way you want it to go. Because I knew they're victimizing it and they're guilting her.
Okay, look, man, I'm not a guy who tries to race bait people. I really don't like it. But he was 100% profiled in his own house. Now, you're going to hear the guy say about his house because he just got it built and he builds houses for a living. So how nice do you think his house is in this neighborhood?
And I said, get in the truck. And that's
so,
what we did.
Yeah.
And
so at
how
that
did this
point,
turn from, because this was just a Ring camera that was only available, at least at the time, to the community. This was just a small thing. It wasn't a big national incident at the time
Right.
this happened. So how did this end up going from neighbors having a conversation about a mistaken identity or mistaken for someone, kind of approaching you in an awkward way, to it being viral?
I know she is the victim now. The reason what it goes, if you live in any type of, a decent community, even mine, I'm part of our community. What people do is they post things to the local community, to this community group. Some groups you have to verify your address. You have to answer a questionnaire, but I'm a part of my local city's group. So when somebody has let's just say someone is suspicious or their car gets broken into or their goddamn cat's missing, they'll post a picture in our community Facebook group and say, have you seen my little snuggles or something? Or, hey, this person was walking around filling locks or whatever, like testing locks. Or, hey, did you hear gunshots here? Or this right there, did you hear about this fire? No, I'm not in a gated community. I'm just in a nicer community. Okay, where, stuff like this just doesn't happen. So when you post that stuff in that group, people are just gonna be like, rip, re-upload, racist Karen, gone, done, seconds. I've seen it happen in my Facebook group for my community. But we're a small, a lot of people know each other. I'll just say that.
Let that happen.
yeah. Yeah. So what happened from there that night, we were not made aware that it was a continued issue. We had no idea. We left it there. I even ran the turkey trot by his house 3 times in November with my daughter. Like I totally thought that this was just something that was in the past. I said sorry, like truly, like I thought it was in the past. And so it was a couple mornings, a week and a half ago maybe, that I was sitting here, I was reading my Bible, I was studying, and my husband
reading their Bible. Jesus.
walks in. He's like, I got to talk to you about something. No. And so he had brought it to my attention that this had become a racial matter. And I was like devastated. I was like, oh my gosh, like, wow. Okay. And so from that point, and he can add his perspective on things, I just want to make sure that this is out there. Through mutual friends in the neighborhood, it has been, we have tried to reconcile things with them in the beginning.
Look, Cayenne makes a great point, guys. This is why you have to record everything, man. Just imagine if the Ring camera recording doesn't exist. And she says, he never told me that I live here. And he's adamant that I did. You have to realize people are going to pick a side. When you it's his word versus her word, who are they most likely going to believe? The black guy with dreads and tattoos with a criminal record, might I add, that he said that? Or are you going to believe the woman who allegedly is reading her Bible in the middle of the day and going for runs in her neighborhood?
Do they want to talk? We had somebody go over there with a handwritten statement from the woman who lived in that house, showing them that there was no intent here, no racial intent on their behalf. Can we orchestrate a meeting with you guys, which they denied. They did not want to pursue any meeting with us. This was right after we found out that this has become an issue. So
not even national stuff.
John brought it to
Bro, I wouldn't want to, honestly, I wouldn't want to meet neither. I wouldn't want to meet either.
To me, and right away, we're trying to orchestrate, having a mutual friend set this up, sit down with them. They did not want to do that. They did not care about the handwritten letter at that point. And so the next day, it was taken, maybe the next day or two. Nonetheless, it was very quickly. The Ring doorbell footage was brought to the Facebook page with this same understanding about unity, and we need to work on this as a community.
When you say Facebook page, you mean like a community Facebook page?
Every community has one, guys. If you live in like a super big city, you may not have one, but if you live in like a small city like me, where it's like, hey, we gotta look out for each other. We got like a fake homeowners association, because we all live in like decent houses. So it's just like, we kind of stick together for the most part.
Just people in the community, or is it just your Facebook page?
Yeah, thanks. It was our community residence page that had just shy of 500 people in the page. And so at that point, my face was on the Ring doorbell. We love our community. We're very engaged in our community. And so I was like, they know who this is. They know it's me. It's my daughter's face, like ringing the doorbell. And so I was like, I need to make sure the community knows my heart behind this, the intent behind this, what happened. So I went on live.
I'm a nosy ass Karen. I saw a black man in a truck driving down my street in this nice area that I wasn't familiar with this black man. And I ran to a house and act like it was mine. And the black man pulled in. And I asked the black man, did he live here? He said yes. And I said, no, you don't. What the fuck? And I ran and said help and had someone call the police and say, hey, someone's chasing me. Like, what the? There's a lot going on.
I'm very lengthy in my explanations, but I get on and I just pour my heart out saying, I'm so sorry how stupid I felt. I have that video pouring my heart out, addressing DeMichael and Brittany specifically, telling them that I'm so sorry. I understand their point of view or where they're coming from.
I know she don't. She does not understand where they're coming from. She has never been walked down by a black person and then the black person accused them of not living there, and then the black person called the police and said, hey, this white woman is chasing me. She's never felt that, and she never will. And this is no slight to white people. It's just a slight to her for saying, I know how they felt. No, you don't. This has never happened to her, and it never will happen to her. And people, I did see someone bring up Emmett Till. This is exactly how Emmett Till happens. But thank goodness we got cameras. So when she goes up and lie and say, hey, you never told me you live here, you were chasing me, all this other goofy stuff, the camera can refute it.
That I'm sorry that I didn't hold their heart in that night, understanding where they were coming from, but I was truly just protecting my kids. So my heart was given to them.
Protecting them from what?
That day in that video. And it was not accepted again. And then in comments, as people were continuing to be upset with us through the community, multiple neighbors jumping on board, I got in the comments and
the world is on the homeowner side. It's only about a handful of people on hers. I would say by and large, the majority of people are on the homeowner side.
Tagged Brittany again, and I said, my video today was with the hopes of reconciling things with you. And if ever given the opportunity, I would love to show you who we really are. And that was never accepted. And so
now here's the thing. She keeps making these videos online. She's like, oh, I made a video online and said, hey, if you're watching this, I want to reconcile. Not, hey, I want, well, obviously the people didn't take the meeting with them, but she makes videos and the homeowners are going to call them out on that. We're going to play that too.
Within a couple of days, the page actually was taken down, not our doing. And then within, I think the next day, we started getting blown up on all of our social media accounts with all sort of hate threats. And we realized that.
How did it make you guys feel when people were saying you were racist?
Now, here is the component, right? Now, there's a nuance to it. You have your full-blown racists, and you have people who are, I would just say, prejudiced. Your full-on racist is going to call you ninja this and ninja that. But I don't necessarily think this woman is necessarily racist per se. But does she have a prejudice against black people? I would say it's there. I would say it's present. But that's just my take on it. That's, hey, I know the difference between someone who's prejudiced and someone who's racist.
Right. Because that's the framing of it. The white woman don't like a black man in the community.
Now, how many black friends you think they about to pull out the woodwork and say I'm not racist because of ABZ?
Boogie black man. How dare a black man be in this affluent community? Like, what did that make you feel like when they tried to frame it that way? Knowing who you guys are. What did that make you feel like?
What at first you're like, what was said?
Yeah.
Like what was said, and we're like, we didn't say anything. So we really had to try to identify what was being said. So we actually had to look for comments and posts of other people saying, oh, they did this. And I'm like, is that what's going on? Is that the narrative? So it took us a minute, me, to figure out.
I don't mean to overspeak you.
Yeah.
In complete honesty, I think I felt every single emotion. I have felt, at first, it's like this knee jerk of like, what are they saying about us? Like, is that like, how could they say that about us? And then you start to get hurt because you're like, of all people, if you know me, like I am the biggest people pleaser. I'm praying for the Lord to deliver me of that. I want everybody to be seen. I want everybody.
Gotta answer God.
To be included. And so, truly, I was like, man, in this neighborhood, like my home, like I don't want this negative spin that I would ever be somebody to reject somebody. And so I've had every emotion coursing through my veins, but I'm trying to just continue to like have a gentle heart, because I think that's what they need to continue to see. Like there was never any ill intent behind it at all. And so I know that you felt
especially within our neighborhood. This is our community, and this.
What? Oh, guys, you called the police and said you were being chased.
This is a small community. It's it's like a new urbanism community, where everybody knows your name. It's like Cheers in here, and literally like one of my best friends, man, my boys, he's a black guy. We were.
I told you. I told you. You start accusing any white person of being racist, they're gonna be like, I got a black friend. Like, ninja, you got a what? I got a black friend. Like, here we go, right here.
This is our community, and this is a small community. It's it's like a new urbanism community, where everybody knows your name. It's like Cheers in here, and literally like one of my best friends, man, my boys, he's a black guy. We work out every single day together, dude. He's my business partner in here. We did vacation last year. Our neighbors right next door, our daughters are best friends. She's black. So like to see these things, and they know who we are and who our friends are, and our very community saying those things about us, man, it was a case of ostracism that, man, I've never experienced in my life, and it sucked.
Yeah, we're trying really hard not to even have to mention our friends that are Black. Like, we want to keep
I don't
that.
even like saying that
No,
because
I
like, they're
know.
just my friends, you know.
And I
But
don't
then I
want
have
to
to
bring
like
other people into any of this. So
Yeah.
it's so unfortunate that it's like that's even
Yeah.
being
Well, they
questioned.
even
Yeah,
told
Here's the thing, guys, and I could tell you this from experience, right? Like I said, I'm in executive management. I went to a conference recently. I told you I was like one of 5 Black guys in there. What happens is people develop a prejudice. And then you have the Black guys that people will quote unquote feel safe around, non-threatening Black guy, whatever you want to call it, the Black friend of the white guy, whatever you want to call it. What ultimately ends up happening, if you're that person's one Black friend, they like, you're different from the rest. That's exactly what they're gonna say. I'm like, you're different. You're different. You're not like you're not like the other Black people I know. Well, it's like, well, what do you think? Are all Black people thugs, or we're all alike? And maybe you're just a token Black guy. Like, no, I'm just me. But my qualifications, my educational background, my work experience has put me in this position where I am one of 5 Black guys at this conference or whatever, and I'm probably the only one in fucking executive management. And these are the people that say, you're not like the rest. You're different. Why can't all Black people be like you? They'll say goofy shit like that. Now, does that mean they're racist? I don't know if that means they're racist, but I think there's some prejudice amongst them. So that's where the whole thing is. We'll finish this out for a second.
It makes sense though, because I think people should know that like they frame you guys, and this is what made me so upset. They frame you guys as like these white people who've never seen Black people before, and
well, I don't think they framed it like that. I just think they framed her as being racist. I mean, because that's what it comes off as. Like, if that dude was Asian, would we be in this problem? We probably don't know.
The idea that a Black man is
and because of his statements right here, this is why Officer Tatum is also getting canceled.
Driving down the street spooked you, and even if he was like walking down the street, somehow it'll spook you guys. When in fact, you guys are not these white folks that that not around Black people, don't have any friends that are cultured whatsoever. I mean, you guys are just like any other American family whom you have friends from all backgrounds. I mean, the fact that you mentioned that you have a business partner that's Black, I think that's significant. It's almost crazy to think.
Ninja. Here's the thing. You can have a Black business partner and still not like Black people. But this Black business partner, hey, you need this guy's money, or maybe he got the brains. But yeah, Officer Tatum literally got to hold this L. He think just because you have a friend with a Black guy doesn't mean you're not racist or whatever. That's 100% false, guys. 100% false. It takes more than having a Black friend for people to absolve you of being racist. Like I said, I really think there's some prejudice going on. But let's finish letting Officer Tatum cook himself. You know what I'm saying? Let's finish letting him cook himself.
That you guys are some racist, out of touch white family when you have a business partner that's Black people live in the neighborhood along with this guy. I think that it's kind of hard to say it because you don't want to say I have Black friends, but at the same time, if people knew what your friend dynamic was, your business dynamic, they would look so stupid trying to frame you guys as being a racist couple.
Yeah.
So when did it go from, so once it got to the community members start to jump in, you guys start to see it go viral. So when was the first time you saw that it was like, oh crap, this is like on the internet and starting to affect our social media accounts, starting to affect our businesses? Where did that start at?
So my very good friend that I was just mentioning, we were at the gym this past Saturday morning, and we're doing lunges. We're literally out there doing lunges. And I get done and I grab my phone and I'm like, what is this? Our business, mine and his business, are getting comments. And I'm like, what the heck is this? And then I open up, Facebook. I'm like, oh, and I call her. I'm like, what's happening? What is going on? I had no idea. And honestly, like, I'm laughing at it now. It's not even a laughing matter, but like, what is today now? Thursday. This is what, 5 days of this. I'm numb. I'm so numb to it. It's like it's a bad dream, So it's hard to even believe that this is a reality right now. But that's when we found out Saturday morning.
Whoa. Brandon Tatum was the type of ninja that used to go around my school telling other Black kids they wasn't Black enough. I don't know, man. Brandon Tatum, people don't like him because he's a Trump supporter. And I really don't care about that. He got the Blue Lives Matter flag in the back. Whoa. He went to your school. Whoa. I know him and his brother. Whoa. 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 Okay. Well, he's a tap dancer. Well, it is what it is, but this is their story. What do you think? Do you think Karen is racist, prejudice, or she was in the right? Let me know in the comments section. I appreciate all y'all subscribing to the Resilient Father channel. Hope to see you guys more as we grow this platform. Peace.